The way I think of the deathless or the unborn or the unfabricated is there's a great sutta where a religious seeker of another tradition meets the Buddha, and this seems to be an ongoing thing with the two of them, where this guy rolls up and he's like, hey Buddha, ... and it's kind of a recurrent character. And he one time walks up to him and says, you know, you and your students are always talking about how nirvana is sanditiko, which is a Pali word meaning readily apparent, like it's right there. It's closer than your next breath. What do you mean it's readily apparent? Like what are you talking about? And the Buddha says, well, let me ask you something. When you're angry, do you know it? When you're scared, when you're confused, when you want something, do you know it? It's like, well, yeah. Okay, so it's just like that. The mind that is free of habitual reactivity, of clinging, aversion, and confusion, the mind that is open, that isn't knitting, fabricating a self and a world that's out there, a self and an other that's over there. That's the mind of the unborn, that's the mind of Nibbana. And it's as easy as that. And it's, in a way, it's like emptiness, where it's like MSG, it makes everything taste better. So when I catch myself getting tied up, I'm like, oh, I'm fabricating, I'm making a Franz that is now angry about this thing that I totally don't need to be. So that's how I would think. You know, I just want to make a mention that any technique is a tool. So Judy is a serious practitioner of Tilopa's 6 nails, which is a 6 points of meditation practice given by the great Mahasiddha Tilopa to his student Naropa. And it's this brilliant kind of encapsulation of, like, you know, don't recall, don't project in the future, let go of the present, don't try to control, don't try to analyze, don't try to figure anything out, just rest. And it's such a great, I love it when people give me clear instructions, like what not to do, because I'll do all those things. But, you know, there are people who, the serious way, one of the ways that they deal with their practice primarily is by noticing what the mind is doing, giving it a name, and then sending it over there. And that seems to work for some people too. And with some people, they just, you know, so whatever works for you in the moment, whether it's like taking a deep breath and then like the pleasing feeling of the deep breath kind of catches you, and your mind can naturally focus on the pleasure of the breath, or, you know, or having a tool like that. It's just a tool. So if it serves you, great, and if it doesn't serve you, you know, practice life is long, and you can pick another one later. But it seems like it works good for you. Awesome. Okay. All right.